Hello, my name is Opal Singleton. I'm the president and CEO of Million Kids. I want to give you an important update on the California Senate Bill 357. This is a bill that will, in essence, legalize street prostitution right here in California. This is a Million Kids Insider Alert. Please follow us on all of our social media and be sure and go to millionkids.org and sign up for Insider Alerts so that you will always receive them and share them with everyone you know. Senate Bill SB 357 is a bill that is basically around the concept of loitering for the purpose of engaging in a prostitution offense. This bill, in essence, deletes all the previous penal code definitions of loitering for prostitution, and it rewrites them so that it, in essence, legalizes street prostitution, including car prostitution. This means that anywhere up and down the state, and literally there are no restrictions on this. It isn't like in Nevada where you go into a brothel and you get STD checks and you can protect the sex worker. This just legalizes street prostitution. That means that men, women, trans, gays, all kinds of people throughout California can be conducting loitering for the purposes of prostitution in front of businesses, in front of schools, in front of churches. There are no limitations on that. We have been fighting this for a while, and I want to give you the update. As of now, this bill has been placed in a suspense file by California Appropriations Committee. So I'm going to tell you what that means, but it also means that I need you now more than ever to join with us on this fight. On August 26th, the chair of the Appropriations Committee, Lorena will decide if this bill will be held in suspense or get out of committee for a vote. So I need you all to keep the pressure on by contacting your assembly person today. Now, find out who it is, send them an email, place a phone call, send them quickly a letter, and ask them to please vote no, to tell them your opposition of this bill. So SB 357, here's the language. It repeals all of the penal codes related to loitering for prostitution, and it amends it so that street prostitution will be legal and law enforcement will not be able to intervene. This takes it a step further that says if you've been arrested or sentenced or pled guilty and are incarcerated, you can get out early and have all of that off your record. So what is the suspense file process? I don't know this man. I just let my fingers do the walking through Google, but I thought it was a pretty good explanation. And because he did it, I want to give him credit. Pardon me. So what happens when California legislation is placed in suspense? Well, basically, the intent of the suspense file is to consider all the fiscal impact of the bill. Keep in mind, this is taking place through the Appropriations Committee. And they basically consolidate the bills and look at the financial impact on that. Both houses and the rules, the committees on the appropriation may maintain a suspense file. And basically what is happening is it's kind of held in suspense. And so you don't know what is happening. Up until it was placed into suspense, there was some belief there would be some immediate vote on it. So on the 26th of August, they're going to decide whether to remove it from this process and vote on it or allow it to stay there. So if it is allowed to stay there, a bill can stay in the suspense file for a long time, and you won't know about it when they decide to take it out and vote on it. The only way to know about it is if you're following something called the daily file, which I'm doing on your behalf because this is so important to us. And at any given time, they can decide to take this out. I'll give you an example, and this is my opinion, not the Department of Justice, okay? But in this case, I'm predicting they may keep this out in that suspense file until the recall election is over to get the lay of the land. But they may not. We don't know what's going to happen here. And so on August 26th, they're going to decide whether to keep it there or take it out for a vote. So in the suspense file, the committee handles it by voting on bills based on their subject matter. So maybe like health or public safety, education, etc. The chair, which in this case is Lorena Gonzalez, the chair determines which subject matter he or she wants to call until all the bills of the different subject matter have been dispensed within the committee members. And so any bills that are held in committee are never publicly announced. That means the day of us going and announcing our opposition are over. It has moved now into the suspense process. The assembly will announce which bills are held and which ones stay silent. That's probably what's going to happen on August 26th. So at that point, the Appropriations Committee dispenses with all bills at the suspense file, and the bills are either passed or passed as amended or held further in the suspense file. The bills that are held further in the suspense file are considered dead. However, they can be brought out at any given time, and which time there will be a vote, and no action is taken on bills that are held in suspense at that time. So at any given time in the future, this can be decided on. So we're watching this for August 26th. Basically, this has been delayed, and that's a good thing. It hasn't been passed. But we cannot let up our efforts to combat this. I need your help. Million Kids is going to continue to alert the public about this. I believe that this is one of the most catastrophic bills that California has ever seen. It is being written in such a way that it pretends to protect the sex worker. You're going to have a hard time convincing me it will protect this sex worker. In fact, I believe it greatly endangers them in ways not being recognized. What will happen here is I believe it will greatly multiply the amount of sex workers we have in California. Think about it. If you can make money in street sex, you are going to have pimps all over the United States bringing their girls from other states. You're going to have people coming from Southeast Asia that currently do it in the shadows and massage parlors until law enforcement finds them and gives them protection. They will be out on our streets. You have a lot of unaccompanied minors that owe money to a cartel or a coyote that may be forced into this. I believe that, number one, it's not going to protect the existing sex worker. In fact, it's going to greatly multiply the competition. Most sex workers in California have between an $800 and $1,000 a night quota, or they do not get to eat or sleep. And in many of those cases, that money, they don't get to keep it. It is given to organized crime or a pimp or someone who is controlling them. I believe you'll see thousands of sex workers come to California, and the competition will be fierce, but more important is taking place in public. This is not only a humanitarian issue, it is a public safety issue. You will have street sex taking place in front of car dealerships, in front of churches, in front of businesses of all kinds, in front of schools. There are no limitations as this bill is currently written. So it is a humanitarian issue, and it is also a consideration. What about the homeless people who will be lured in to make some money so that they can survive? I believe there are better ways to protect the sex worker than to increase the competition and bring thousands of people to our streets where they are going to be taking and offering public sex. They will simply use online sex ads to promote Meet Me at 5th and G, or on University Avenue in Riverside, or Hope Boulevard in Ontario. And how will law enforcement be able to intervene and protect these people? Please continue to join with us. Find a way. Take 10 minutes today to find out who your assembly person is and email them. They have a form right in there, and you can put your opposition. Please vote no. Please contact your head of your assembly person that's handling this suspense file case and let them know that you're getting significant opposition. I personally believe this is just laying low until the recall passes to get the kind of finger in the air, take the pulse of the public and see if we can get this through. We are going to continue to monitor this. I'm going to follow the daily file on the California State Assembly, which notifies us what's happening. And when that happens, I'm going to notify you. Though we have till the 26th to take action, I need you. Okay, I'm begging you. I have done this 13 years, 10 years right here in California. I'm a small agency. I don't have a lot of money. I thank you for the people who have donated so that we can buy these press releases and get this information out. We have a short window to fight back, and I need you to do it. Find out who your assembly person is. Tell them to vote no on SB 357. We are not going to take this laying down. This is the future of our community, the future of our kids. This can take place outside of a school. Thank you for listening to Insider Alerts. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you to donating to our cause. Thank you for following and sharing this with everyone you know. Please, you can contact me at Opal at Million Kids, but I need you to stop and get you and your family and your church and your friends and pray that this bill does not happen, and take the action that we need. Contact your assembly person and tell them to vote no on Proposition 357. This is really important. Please protect our community, protect our kids, protect our future, and protect you and your family. Thank you for joining us at Million Kids. I'll see you next time on Insider Alerts.